Are you over 60 and finding that some days your energy just isn't what it used to be? Or perhaps you have noticed more aches, a bit more stiffness, or even that your thinking isn't quite as sharp as you'd like. We often look to big solutions, complex regimens, but what if some of the answers, and indeed some of the problems, are sitting right there on your dinner plate? It's a startling thought, isn't it? That the very foods you've eaten for years, foods you might even consider staples, could be quietly working against your health, especially as you navigate your vibrant years beyond 60. Today, we're not just talking about general healthy eating. We're diving deep into a specific category: meat. You've likely heard so much conflicting advice. Eat more for protein, eat less for your heart. But could it be that the type of meat, and more importantly, how it got to your plate, is what truly matters? We've been hearing whispers and some compelling insights drawing from wisdom that spans generations about how certain meats might be accelerating the very aging processes we're trying to manage. Things like inflammation, joint discomfort, and even those concerning memory lapses. Conversely, other choices could be powerful allies helping you rebuild, protect, and thrive. It's a crucial distinction, and one that too many of us overlook. So, are you ready to perhaps rethink what's for dinner? Let's explore this together. It's a sobering reality, but not all protein is created equal, especially when our bodies have a few more miles on them. Some of the meats, commonly found in our shopping carts and on our tables, could be acting like hidden saboteurs. Bacon. For many, it's the scent of weekend breakfasts, a comforting indulgence. But have you ever stopped to truly question what's in that conveniently pre-packaged delight? Could this familiar friend actually be a foe in disguise, especially for your health after 60? The truth is, the very things that make supermarket bacon so appealing, its convenience, its long shelf life, that smoky flavor, often come from processes and additives that can be incredibly harsh on an aging system. We're talking about nitrates, a staggering amount of sodium, and the compounds formed when it's cooked to that perfect crispness at high heat. Does it ever make you wonder what those preservatives are really preserving, and at what cost to your internal health? Think about it. Your arteries perhaps not as supple as they once were. Your blood pressure may be a little more prone to creeping up. Bacon, with its trifecta of sodium, saturated fats, and chemical additives, can feel like an assault on these vulnerabilities. It's not just about the visible fat, it's the invisible load of chemicals your body has to process. Some studies have painted a rather alarming picture, linking regular consumption of processed meats like bacon to significantly higher risks of heart issues and even certain cancers. It makes you pause, doesn't it? Could that little treat be exacting a much bigger toll than you realize? It's not about never enjoying it again, perhaps, but it's certainly a call to question if it deserves a regular spot on your plate. What if there are other ways to find that savory satisfaction without the same hidden risks? Now, this one might surprise you because deli meats, those sliced turkeys, hams, and roast beefs, are often marketed as the sensible choice, right? Lean, convenient for a quick sandwich. But what if this perception of health is a carefully constructed illusion? Just like their cousin bacon, these pre-packaged slices are frequently swimming in sodium and nitrates, essential for their preservation and flavor, but not so essential for your well-being. The danger here is insidious because they feel like a smart choice. You might be meticulously crafting what you believe is a healthy lunch, but are you unknowingly inviting inflammation and putting extra strain on your kidneys with every bite? Consider this. Your kidneys have been working hard for you for over 6 decades. Do they really need the added burden of processing excessive sodium and preservatives day in and day out? And what about food safety? These are often consumed cold. For a senior's immune system, which might not be as robust as it once was, even a minor brush with foodborne bacteria can become a significant health event. It's a sobering thought that the healthy sandwich you pack could be a Trojan horse for unwanted chemicals and digestive stress. Are you trading true nourishment for mere convenience? It's a question worth asking, especially when you consider the cumulative effect over weeks, months, and years. Red meat. It's a topic that sparks endless debate. But what if the problem isn't beef itself, but the kind of beef that overwhelmingly fills our supermarket shelves and restaurant menus? I'm talking about conventionally raised, grain-fed beef. Imagine cattle raised in crowded feedlots, fed diets heavy in corn and soy. Diets they weren't naturally designed to eat. This doesn't just affect the animal, it fundamentally changes the composition of the meat you consume. Instead of being a source of beneficial anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids like you'd find in grass-fed beef, this conventional beef often becomes loaded with pro-inflammatory omega-6s. Are you inadvertently fueling the very inflammation that can worsen joint pain and contribute to chronic disease? And it doesn't stop there. The routine use of antibiotics and hormones in these industrial farming systems can leave residues in the meat. Could these substances be subtly disrupting your own hormonal balance or straining your liver, which is already working hard to detoxify your body? Many people reach for lean ground beef or a steak, thinking they're getting pure protein. But are they also getting a dose of something far less desirable? It's a stark reminder that quality isn't just about the cut of meat. It's about the life that animal lived and what it was fed. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, if that hearty meal is truly strengthening you or quietly undermining your internal health? Chicken is often hailed as the go-to healthy protein, especially for those watching their fat intake. But hold on a moment. Could the chicken you're diligently grilling or baking actually be another source of hidden trouble, particularly if it's the common, mass-produced variety? We're talking about factory-farmed chicken, birds raised in extremely crowded conditions, often given diets to promote unnaturally fast growth and frequently exposed to antibiotics. It's a similar story to conventional beef, isn't it? The environment and feed of the animal profoundly impact the quality of the meat. This type of chicken can become a vehicle for inflammatory compounds and residues that your body, especially after 60, could do without. The fat profile can be skewed towards those less desirable omega-6s, and the potential for antibiotic residues raises concerns about gut health and even insulin sensitivity. You might be choosing chicken to be healthy, but if it's from these intensive systems, are you truly making the best choice for your long-term vitality? It's a question that cuts through the common perception and forces us to look a little deeper than just low fat. Now, after all that cautionary talk, you might be wondering if there's any meat left that is good for you. And the answer is a resounding yes. The key is shifting your focus from quantity and convenience to quality and true nourishment. If there's one superstar in the world of beneficial meats, it might just be wild-caught salmon. Notice the emphasis on wild-caught. This isn't your farmed salmon, which can have a very different nutritional profile and environmental impact. Wild salmon is a powerhouse of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, those incredible fats that are like a soothing balm for your blood vessels, your brain, and even your joints. As we age, maintaining cognitive function and cardiovascular health is paramount, isn't it? Omega-3s play a crucial role here. Think of it as providing your body with the clean, high-quality fuel it needs to run smoothly. Just a couple of servings a week could make a noticeable difference. Doesn't that sound like a delicious way to invest in your health? Here's one that might not be on your regular shopping list, but perhaps it should be: pasture-raised lamb. Again, the pasture-raised part is critical. Animals raised on grass, their natural diet, produce meat that is far superior. Lamb, especially when raised this way, is rich in essential nutrients like zinc, iron, and high-quality protein, all vital for maintaining muscle mass and immune strength as we get older. And here's something interesting. Pasture-raised lamb tends to have a more balanced fat profile, including more of those beneficial omega-3s and something called conjugated linoleic acid, which has been linked to reduced inflammation. For seniors concerned about muscle loss, this could be a truly valuable addition. It's about choosing meats that are nutrient-dense, not just sources of empty calories or inflammatory compounds. Yes, chicken can still be on the menu, but with a crucial caveat: seek out organic, pasture-raised options. This is a world away from the factory farm chicken we discussed earlier. When chickens are raised outdoors, allowed to forage, and aren't subjected to routine antibiotics or hormones, the meat they produce is cleaner, has a better fat composition, and carries a far lower inflammatory load. You're getting the protein you need without the unwanted extras. It might cost a bit more, that's true, but isn't your long-term health worth that small, extra investment? Think of it as upgrading your fuel for a more efficient and resilient body. And now for a category that is deeply revered in some of the world's healthiest, longest-living populations, yet often overlooked in many Western diets: small, oily fish like sardines, mackerel, and anchovies. These little fish are nutritional giants. They are packed with omega-3s, loaded with calcium, often because you consume the tiny edible bones, and provide a wealth of micronutrients that are critical for heart, brain, and bone health, all areas of concern as we age. What's more, because they are lower on the marine food chain, they tend to accumulate far less mercury than larger predatory fish, making them a safer and more sustainable choice for regular consumption. Imagine getting a potent dose of brain-boosting fats and bone-strengthening calcium in one simple, affordable package. They might not be the star of a fancy dinner party, but their contribution to your health could be far more glamorous in the long run. Could adding these humble fish to your diet a few times a week be a simple yet powerful strategy for aging with vitality? So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that after 60, every food choice becomes more significant. The meats you choose are not just filling a space on your plate, they are actively influencing your body's internal environment, either promoting health or quietly contributing to its decline. It's not about fear or extreme restrictions. It's about awareness and making informed, intentional choices. It's about understanding that the story of your food, how it was raised, what it was fed, how it was processed, matters deeply. Prioritizing quality over quantity, choosing whole, unprocessed forms, and listening to your body are key. Think about the small changes you can make. Could you swap out that processed bacon for a piece of wild salmon? Could you choose pasture-raised chicken a little more often, even if it means having it less frequently, but enjoying better quality? These aren't just dietary tweaks. They are acts of self-care, investments in your future strength, mobility, and clarity. We've covered a lot today, and I hope this has given you some food for thought. Quite literally, the journey to better health is ongoing, and knowledge is your most powerful tool. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Has any of this resonated? What's one small change you might consider making after hearing this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and support one another on this path to vibrant aging. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into living your healthiest life. Thank you for joining us, and here's to making choices that help you age well with strength and confidence.